For nervous flyers, the reassuring voice of a pilot can be enough to see them through a bad patch of turbulence or a bumpy landing. But in the not-too-distant future, twitchy travelers might be even more troubled when they realize the person manning the plane is sitting hundreds of miles away. For a British defense company is developing a pilotless plane. Engineers at BAE Systems have already launched a series of test flights in which the high-tech prototype flies by itself using computers while being monitored by operators sitting 15,000 feet below it. BAE, which hopes it can open the door to unmanned flights in commercial travel, has transformed a small aircraft that normally holds 16 people into a flying test room. Instead of a pilot and co-pilot, the Jetstream 31 is controlled by a sophisticated infrared camera known as the electronic eye in the cockpit. Aided by 7 cameras on the plane's undercarriage, the system will allow the aircraft to undertake emergency landings by finding suitable stretches of land. It can also detect different cloud types, allowing the plane to fly around poor weather conditions. It is hoped the 400,000 test program proves that larger unmanned craft can travel safely in open airspace alongside traditional planes. While the plane is ultimately expected to complete its course using technology alone, the current system requires a pilot on the ground to monitor the flight. Using satellite technology, the pilot communicates with air traffic controllers and sends directions to the plane, which has a top speed of 282 mph. The current series of test flights, with the planes flying 300 miles from Wharton in Lancashire to Inverness, use 2 pilots to assist the aircraft's takeoff and landing. A team of engineers monitors the onboard computer system over the 90-minute journeys, while an observer helps the remote pilot. The possibility of introducing unmanned flights to British civil airspace was instigated more than 10 years ago by a government-funded consortium of companies including BAE. When funding was cut in 2013, BAE largely took over control of the program. The company has a vested interest in relaxing the rules about flying unmanned craft in British airspace. It is currently forced to undertake test flights of the Taranis, a pilotless fighter jet developed in a £185 million program with the Ministry of Defence in Australia. By moving the operation closer to its base in England, BAE bosses believe it can speed up the development and cut costs. Maureen McHugh of BAE Systems said, "Our priority as always is to demonstrate the safe and effective operation of autonomous systems. We are working towards the possibility of flying our own unmanned systems in a highly controlled environment in the UK. The trials are an exciting time and will give us technology options that could be applied to our own manned and unmanned aircraft, as well as potentially enabling us to take some new unmanned aircraft technologies to market."